I feel like part of what we are about to discuss is heavy-duty wish casting and want for it, something that we have been hungry for probably for most people listening their lifetimes. And for once in a Bears fan, a Bears media person, whatever the case may be, whatever your relationship is to the Bears, to have a actual quarterback rivalry with another team, as in, could this be Caleb Williams versus Jordan Love? Are we moving into an area where this could be an actual, legitimate, sustainable quarterback rivalry for the next decade or so?
I think we're there, and here's why I think we're there. And that's why Saturday's game is so important, not just because, yes, you do have the chance to go into the outright driver's seat by putting yourself a game and a half up on the Packers with 2 games left to play. At that point, you just need to handle business against them, and then you win one more game, you're going to win the NFC North. That is, unless you find a way to, well, lose to Detroit and Detroit wins out. But I don't see that happening. So I think what you look at when you see Caleb Williams specifically is a guy who played just as well until that very final play against the Packers as Jordan Love did in that game. And so I know there's been times when people wish for a star quarterback in Chicago and it's never quite come. But with that comes the greatness of rivalries renewed. Aaron Rodgers owned the Bears for so long. Now you have a chance to see Caleb Williams step into the spotlight and say, I can go toe-to-toe with Jordan Love for as long as Jordan Love is a quarterback. And remember, Jordan Love's in year 3 as a starter, year 5 as a quarterback in the NFL. And Caleb is almost caught up to him now, just that quickly. And I love it.
What I liked about what I saw from Caleb, and I absolutely agree with you. I think this is a rivalry. And why is it a rivalry? It's because of Ben Johnson, how he's able to accentuate what Caleb Williams is good at, throwing the ball down the field, giving him some time, teaching him this play-action game that he had never been exposed to before. And the first half of that game was not the Caleb Williams that we know. I mean, you look, the Bears, their first 3 drives had 1 first down and 5 net yards. They had 1 drive with more than 1 first down in the first half of that game. They had 15 first downs on their 4 drives after the half. So you saw that Caleb Williams coming into his own, making that comeback, and just right there had the touchdown pass. I think if it comes around this week, he hits it. And I think this is something we're going to see for years to come, that second half Caleb. And then what we saw from Jordan Love, who's obviously a good quarterback as well. They're going to be the top 2 guys in this division.
Yeah, and there is no doubt that Jordan Love won the day in the first meeting in terms of the explosive plays that he made to Bo Melton, the Christian Watson, multiple plays. Josh Jacobs did what he did. That has nothing to do with Jordan Love necessarily. However, to your point, Caleb Williams kind of quietly made his own array of elite throws in that game as well. So he's sort of stacking the game. The 28-yarder to Burden in the fourth quarter. That play down the sideline to Devin Duvernay. This is the Green Bay game that we're talking about here. That sidearm strike to Olamide Zaccheaus for a touchdown in another tight window. Like, Caleb is starting to feel himself when it comes to the tight windows that he may have been avoiding some last year.
And let's not forget, Caleb Williams has Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons chasing him in that game. Jordan Love had Montez Sweat and Austin Booker. And no offense to those 2 guys.
The ghost of Dio.
The ghost of Dio.
Oh, the ghost of Dio.
Much better defense for the Packers that Caleb Williams was going against than what Jordan Love was going against. And that was when Kyler Gordon was supposed to play that game. So I will give Dennis Allen some grace there, because he was game planning under the idea that Kyler Gordon was going to be playing. He probably ain't going to leave C.J. Gardner-Johnson one-on-one with Christian Watson. He ain't going to leave Kevin Byard on a zero blitz one-on-one with Christian Watson, Bo Melton. Okay, because he thought that Kyler Gordon would be in these situations, a 4-3 guy, a guy that jumps 40 inches, a guy that has an 11-foot broad jump, as explosive as any receiver on the field. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I think he's had some good plays this year, but he is not near the athlete of Kyler Gordon.
See, that what you're saying, it resonates with me, because what you're saying, I think, is that these are adjustments that Dennis Allen can make.
Well,
now,
he has to.
Well, he has to, but there are logical ways to. You learn a lot from that game in terms of what the Packers did to you. I'm not necessarily saying moving forward and like you've learned something like the light came on for the defense, but those are things that you could watch on which the Bears are probably obsessively doing and finding a different plan for those scenarios, because we know, Marshall, that Jordan Love, he's going to go for those explosions. There are going to be 5 to 7 plays where Jordan Love is going to attempt big time plays, and the idea is that the Bears will have adjusted enough to limit the explosive plays this time, which they did not do in the first round.
Well, the biggest thing for me is when Jordan Love makes a mistake, and he will make a mistake, if not many mistakes in this game, on the road, at Soldier Field, at night, rowdy fans, the Bears, they'll capitalize defensively, but now I have more confidence that the offense, when they get the ball, I don't know, 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 36, will put points on the board. And you could argue that was the difference in the game, is the fact that they got the ball 1st and 10, 36-yard line of Green Bay, and did not score. That's how you lose games like that. You have to take advantage of opportunities. I think they'll have more opportunities. Remember, going into that game, Jordan Love had 3 interceptions. Since then, in 2 games, he's thrown 3 interceptions. He is ripe for the picking, and they understand they're playing with a much slimmer margin to win a game, the Packers are, than they were 2 weeks ago because of all the guys that they'll be missing.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and you gotta think about this too. They're playing against probably the best defense in the league, the Denver Broncos. Jordan Love was pressured, wasn't even blitzed that much. That's the best way you get after Jordan Love. If you can get pressure with the front 4, I know that's not the strength of our Bears. Last week they did take a step forward, even if it was against the lowly Browns and their 3rd-string offensive linemen. But the Broncos are a team. They have some things going for them. Obviously, the Bears don't, but I don't think the Bears are going to blitz as much this week. And to Dennis Allen's credit here, he did call some decent calls. They didn't execute. The C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the 0 blitz where Kevin Byard got beat for a touchdown. C.J. Gardner-Johnson ran over Montez Sweat. He tripped into the guy inside of him. And then this is supposed to be an unblocked pressure where you scheme open one blitzer. And nobody came open, and then Jordan Love's going to hit you. But I think you're absolutely right. This team was coming in flying high when they played the Bears the first time, the second half of the Bears game, and then last week against the Broncos, losing that game after being up 10-9 in the third quarter. I think they're coming with a little bit of momentum the other direction.
One thing that does make this feel very rivalry-esque is that pressure can kind of go from one direction to the other. I think there's more pressure on Jordan Love in this game than there is on Caleb Williams.
Because of the expectations?
Because of the expectations. You are the incumbent. You're supposed to be better than Caleb Williams. You are the guy who's got more experience playing in the NFL. And now you've got to go on the road and do it all over again. Whereas Caleb Williams is like, I got a strong run game to lean on. I know that I'm playing my best football, coming off perhaps my best performance as a professional quarterback from last week. Even if it was a lesser competition, you still got to make the throws. You still have to make the good decisions. You still have to not put the ball in harm's way. I think Caleb Williams has done a better job of taking care of the football this year than Jordan Love. And I think he understands that this is an opportunity for him to take a big step forward, both in this rivalry and also the NFL at large, specifically the NFC standings.
I see what you're. I do understand what you're saying, and this is a subtle difference in what I'm about to say. But I do think that this game on the overall for Caleb and the Bears is just as important or pressure packed. The stakes are just as high for the Bears as is for the Packers, as we sort of discussed yesterday. I think we brought this question to the air yesterday. What if the Bears lose the game? I mean, that'll be really sad. Like if the Bears get swept by the Packers this year, knowing the improvement that they made, knowing that I personally took away the gravy aspect of this season, that it ain't just gravy anymore.
Just straight mash.
It stopped being gravy. Yeah, just straight mash. No more gravy. After they beat Philadelphia, that was off to me because to a lot of people this season just felt like extra. It's like it's bonus time, and then we'll figure out what happened in the offseason. No, folks, the Bears are legitimately good, and they should legitimately win this game, and if they don't, to me, it will be wholly disappointing.